This is Human Resource Machine, made by the same developers as World of Goo. Programming puzzle game. As soon as I start the game, you'll recognise the cutscenes. You'll recognise the art style of the World of Goo cutscenes. And yeah, great intro music as well. Okay. Yes, please select your employee ID. I have your photo here somewhere. Which one is yours? Well, do we want to be red-haired Emma or green-haired Emma? I suppose, given that we have a green background today, we should be green-haired Emma. Yes, that photo looks just like you. Well, maybe if I had hair it would. Here is your badge. Please proceed to the elevator. I don't get to put my name in, I'm just employee 2, or 1 or 3, depending on which save slot I picked. And here we are. So this is the level progression of the game. We start with level 1, the mail room. Welcome to your first day. You look like an excellent instruction follower. Your first job will appear over there on the right side in a moment. Remember, you can always ask me for help. A helpful boss? What is this? The way this game works, we have an area over here where we can put commands to program the employee, which is our little dude here. Yeah, if anybody is worried about AI taking your jobs, this could be the future if AI doesn't take our jobs, so maybe we should be grateful that it is. You can put together a list of commands over there on the right side. Then press the big green play button to watch what happens. My face cam is going to be covering something regardless of where I put it, so I'll just leave it here for now. What? What will happen? Office life truly is unpredictable. Full of surprises. I've been here 24 years. Yes, thank you. One day you can be just like me. But for now, back to work. So literally all you have to do in this level is take the data from the inbox and put it into the outbox. Not enough stuff in the outbox. Management expected a total of 3 items, not 1. Now, I like to think that my office job is slightly more fulfilling than this, but some days I'm not sure. Hello, Aliana, who says woohoo, question mark. Welcome in, hope you're having a great weekend. We're just getting started on, let me turn the volume down slightly. We're just getting started on Human Resource Machine. Obviously the first level is pretty easy. Most of this yellow section is all pretty easy, they're just tutorials for the game. Busy mailroom. Well, looks like you've made it this far. Congratulations on your promotion. Most people stress out and quit before making it this far, but I can tell you have a bright future in inbox-outbox management. Here is your new assignment. I don't actually have... I used to have a physical inbox and outbox at my job. Despite working in IT, we used to have physical tickets. Our tickets were brown paper envelopes with the ticket stapled to the front. So I had this weird situation of I was working in IT, but I was physically moving tickets from an inbox to an outbox. But after COVID, when we started remote working, obviously we got rid of all of that. Aliana says, yeah, this game literally teaches you assembler code. Yes. It starts you off with just a few commands and it gradually builds up. But yeah, it's not like high-level programming. It's all jumps and conditional jumps and that sort of thing. Your new command is very powerful. You can drag your jump arrow forward within your program to skip entire sections. Or you can jump backwards to create loops. It's going to change everything. So yeah, last time we wrote a program we had to just duplicate inbox outbox a bunch of times. Now we have the jump command. We can do this. Let me actually move my face cam because I'm going to be in the way of the program. All I'm blocking here is some buttons to control the game. We have created an infinite loop. Hello, Moonchild. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great weekend. Good to see you. Aliana says, have you seen a game called Turing Complete? I have heard of that game, yes. I think I've seen it recommended to me on Steam. That's also a programming puzzle game. It is very much a sort of hard programming game. This is teaching you programming with some fancy graphics of a person walking around holding boxes. That game is literally just, here is how you build a computer, starting with logic gates and working your way up. So it might be a little too much for a stream, but I do want to try it at some point. Moonchild, thank you so much for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a Rose Babe Willow Herb. Rose Babe Willow Herb has lovely, lovely pink flowers, usually to be seen in July and August in the UK. Ayana says, Turing Complete teaches you how to actually build a CPU from logic gates. Yes, I do have a degree in computer science, so in theory I do know how to do that already, but I have to say it's quite a few years since I looked at anything that low level. Okay, level 3 is copy floor. Oh no! The inbox conveyor system is completely broken, but that doesn't mean we get to take a break from work. Ignore the inbox for now and just send the following 3 letters to the outbox. BUG. The facilities management staff has placed some items over there on the carpet for you. If only there were a way you could pick them up. I think that's what this copy from command is going to be for. Ren says, I bought a breadboard CPU kit. I got as far as building the clock circuit, but then got distracted and haven't got back to it. Yeah, so my first year of my degree course did have a hardware module where we were actually building things on breadboards. I never actually assembled a complete CPU. But we did do a lot of, putting logic gates together and then programming an FPGA and that sort of thing. I could have done hardware modules later in the course, but I knew I was going to be a software developer, so I was picking modules that were more specific to that. But I did do some hardware. That was all quite a long time ago now, though. Right, what are you going to say? This guy always tells you more stuff if you ask him, so we might as well see all the things he has to say. Hello, maintenance department. Our conveyor system is broken up here. Productivity is down 40%. Yes? Yes, clearly. We'll see about that. Well, the maintenance department says it's working fine down there. Okay, so yeah, we have this copy from command. And we can choose where we want to copy from. We're going to copy the B, and then we're going to send it to the output. And then we're going to copy the U, and that. And we're going to copy the G, and that. Hopefully, it spells the word bug. I mean, it spells the word gub, actually, but because the out box is going down. But I think that works. Yeah, there we go. Progressing. I like how it says year 3, like implying that we lost an entire year to a broken conveyor. It took us a year to figure out how to convince maintenance that it was broken. Okay, level 4 is Scrambler Handler. Conveyor system is fixed. Aliana says, I'm fairly sure I used to work here. Yeah, so this game is obviously parodying office work to an extent, but it does hit quite close to home at times. The conveyor system is fixed, and just in time for you to get to work. The data won't collate itself. Hello, Starcasted. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day. This is a bugle. Bugle is lovely little, about that big. Flowers in a spike. Bright, bright blue flowers. Really, really lovely. Ren says, reminds me of Brazil, the film that is. Don't think I've ever seen that film. Grab the first 2 things from the inbox and drop them into the outbox in reverse order. Repeat until the inbox is empty. We have a new command, copy to. So we can copy to the carpet and copy from the carpet. Feel free to copy to wherever you like on the carpet. It will be cleaned later. Okay, definitely not like my office then. They never clean that thing. First things second. Second things first. Things happening in and out of order is a constant source of anxiety in my life. Did we already talk about this? Maybe we already did. Or maybe we will, a long time from now. It's all the same to me. Starcasted says, hi, I've played this game before. Stopped when it got hard for me, so hope to see you solve them. We'll see. I feel like as a professional software developer, I should be able to complete this game. It's a bit worrying if I can't, but we'll find out. Do Alice? I believe that's the viewer formerly known as Dustin. On account of they still have their VIP badge and their 1000 bits badge. Welcome back. Congratulations on the name change. It does look like my bot has forgotten who you are though, because it says you've only got 1 flower. Let me fix that for you. And what a lovely name. I hope you like it. To be honest, I only have you only have 3 flowers, but we might as well preserve your flowers for you. Yeah, if you do exclamation mark, is it exclamation mark garden? Yeah, if you try that command, Alice, can I call you Alice? If you try that command. Oh, no. Oh, stupid bot. I was just talking about how I'm a professional software developer, so I should be able to complete this game. And it turns out that this bot is code that I wrote myself, and apparently it's not working. There are advantages to writing your own Twitch bot versus using an off-the-shelf one, and there are disadvantages. Disadvantages when it doesn't work, you've only got yourself to blame. Okay, give it another go, Alice, and we'll see if that works. Aliana says, honestly, software development is a ridiculously wide field these days. This kind of coding has almost no resemblance to some web front-end stuff. I agree. So for my role, I don't program in assembly, certainly. My current job is .NET, but I'm not a web developer, and I do quite often have to do some low-level stuff. Not quite as bad. When I first started where I currently work, the machines that we had to use were very underpowered, and I was doing all kinds of low-level tricks to try and save memory. Nowadays we don't have to bother quite as much, but yeah, I definitely, if assembly is down here and JavaScript web development stuff is up here, I'm somewhere in the middle. You know. I do have to use pointers occasionally, put it that way. Yeah, there we go. Alice has her 3 flowers. Right, grab the first 2 things from the inbox and outbox and drop them in reverse order. So I think all we have to do here is grab something from the inbox, stick it in, let's say here. Then we grab another thing from the inbox and just go straight to the outbox. And then we grab the thing that we put down on the carpet and outbox that as well. Repeat until the inbox is empty, so back to the beginning. Let's see how that goes. Wait, where did they throw something? Oh, right, yeah. That's interesting. When they put something down, they actually put a copy of it down. And then they throw away. I suppose if you think about it, that is how a computer works. You're copying it from, I guess, yeah, I guess the girl holding up the number is kind of like a register in the CPU. So you're copying from the register to memory, and then it's still in the register, but then you discard it from the register and load something else. So yeah, it's interesting how they show that. Ren says, I think the lowest level coding I've done professionally was shader assembly. Yeah, I've never programmed shaders. I've never really done graphics programming. The closest thing I've done to graphics programming was the UI for the Scrabble game that I had on stream, which wasn't exactly the most impressive thing graphically speaking. And well, see that flower in the corner that's spinning? That's the extent of my graphics programming ability. Hey, good news! It's coffee time! This is definitely a World of Goo-esque cutscene.
Back to work, everyone.
Back to work, everyone.
Regions of the city continue to experience power failure. Local authorities are investigating.
Power failure? Ren says, did we have a year-long coffee break? It does appear that we spent the entirety of year 5 drinking coffee, which, again, fairly realistic. Harry says the flower failing was so funny to see. Yeah, so I just briefly flashed up my start screen then, which has a little flower in the corner. And in fact, when the stream is actually starting, it has a 5-minute countdown as well. The point of the flower spinning is so I can watch Stream Manager and see that the stream is actually playing back smoothly, like there's no stuttering or anything. But yeah, Harry actually visited me a few weeks ago, and he was here to see what happens if you manage to mess up even such a simple thing as a spinning flower. Which it's surprising how many ways there are to break that. Aliana says graphic style has considerable resemblance to Little Inferno. I assume it's probably the same developers. It is the same developers as Little Inferno, yes. Rainy Summer is the next level. So yeah, actually, both World of Goo and Little Inferno were made by the same developers. I haven't played Little Inferno on stream, but I have played both World of Goo games, and I plan to play both of the games in this series, this one and 7 Billion Humans. So maybe after that we'll play Little Inferno, just to complete the set. At least they get a year-long break, says Matcha. That's true. Welcome to my personal rain cloud. I was never very good at math, since I have only 3 fingers on each hand. But I hear you don't actually need to know very much about math to complete these assignments. Ah, look, we're actually doing arithmetic now. We're not just copying data around. For each 2 things in the inbox, add them together and put the result in the outbox. You got a new command. Adds the contents of a tile on the floor to whatever value you're currently holding. Do a good job. Our careers depend on this. Aliana says, on a similar vein, there's a game called While True Learn that essentially teaches you how AI works. Yeah, so AI is not a thing that I know much. Like, I don't know the details. I know how neural networks work, and you know, the current generation of AI is basically just those, but on a colossal scale. Even though my degree was some time before the current AI trend, we did learn how it all works, and it hasn't changed much technically. They've just run it on bigger and bigger hardware until it did something useful. And yeah, my job, there is a trend at the moment of trying to shoehorn AI into everything. My job is one of the few places I think where we're relatively well insulated from any attempts to use AI, because we do things like produce financial documents. So if somebody hands you an AI and says, you know, this is 99.8% accurate, and you're running a social media site, that's probably fine. But if you're doing anything financial, that's no good. You can't have 1 in every 500 customers getting the wrong figures. That would not do at all. So there's no call for AI. It's certainly not going to replace my job anytime soon. Aliana says, and I know, and the second they try doing that at my job, I'm leaving. Yeah, I think it's people like artists and writers that are at risk from the current generation of AI. And even then, they're only at risk because people don't understand what their job involves. And they think the low quality crap that AI puts out is a replacement. But yeah, the idea that AI will be writing programs for you, I think, is not a thing. You know, something like ChatGPT can solve a simple coding problem, but as soon as you give it anything bigger, it just doesn't have a clue. Anyway, speaking of simple coding problems, let's try adding 2 numbers together. So we want to get a number from the inbox, put it on the floor. Then we want to get another number from the inbox and add them. And then we want to outbox it. And then we want to do it all again. I wonder, is it possible to cause an overflow error in this game? What happens if I just add repeatedly? Oh, that was supposed to be a copy too. Oh, this is... this what I'm doing here is I'm repeatedly adding 0. That's not quite having the effect that I was hoping for. I was hoping to overflow the result. Okay, it can do two-digit numbers. How high can it go? Let me speed this up. Ah, okay. They only give you enough numbers to add to 18. I was hoping to overflow it. But I think that's what we actually want to do. No, it isn't. We want to jump there. So grab a number, grab another number, add them, put it in the outbox. Yeah. Okay. Aniana says, the only job I really hope AI can replace someday is government, because let's face it, that bar is so desperately low, AI can only do better. Here's the thing, so I'm all in favour of automated decision making and things like that, but not with AI. I definitely think that there is a benefit to replacing humans with an algorithm for certain things, because an algorithm is, it doesn't have a bad day. It's like they've proved statistically that judges give harsher sentences if their favourite sports team lost the weekend before and stupid things like that. So I'm very much in favour of algorithmic solutions to those things. But not AI, because you need to be able to explain how it works. You need to be able to go back and say, this is how this algorithm works. If you put this result in, you get this result out. And AI is just a black box that you can't explain how it works. And the thing is, people are using AI for automated decision making, and it's a big problem. A recent, rather topical example is the insurance industry. I believe it's regulated in some places, but in America, for example, you can use an AI model to deny insurance claims. And that might lead to you getting assassinated, apparently. So, yeah. be warned. Okay, we have a branching path here. 7 is smaller than 8, so let's go to the 7 first. 0 exterminator. Aliana says AI can't legally make decisions because it can't be responsible for the consequences. So, this is the thing. In a lot of places, AI can legally make decisions. And then, yeah. The company that owns the AI is legally responsible for the consequences. But sometimes there are no consequences to, for example, denying people life-saving healthcare. So they just get to make the decisions with no consequences. But yes, an AI cannot in and of itself be responsible for things. The responsibility rests with whoever's running the code. 0 exterminator. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I mean, probably on about level 17, I would imagine. Or 10 years. I have a note here from your other boss that says, from this point on, your performance will be evaluated with extra scrutiny. Oh dear. What a treat. Send all things that are not 0 to the outbox. You've got a new command. It jumps only if the value you are holding is 0, otherwise continues to the next line. Yeah, this is where it starts to become more like assembly language. So jump if 0, jump if not 0 are common instructions in assembly. You can always ask me to show you the optimization challenges for the current assignment. Yeah, so that's right. So obviously the first few levels are just a tutorial, but the rest of the game, you have to solve the level in a certain number of cycles or a certain number of instructions, stuff like that. So send all things that are not 0 to the outbox. I noticed there are letters, like there are mixed data types in our input here. E is not 0 though, so I'm assuming jump if 0 doesn't jump if you're holding an E. So get something from the inbox. If it's 0, then just go back to the inbox and start again. Otherwise, go to the outbox and then go back to the beginning. Also, this music is nice. Okay, that's enough of that. Like 20s driving music, says Sarah Stars. Sarah, we're living in the 20s. Don't forget. This is the roaring 20s. Starcasted says, I see myself in your position in 5 years. I would much rather be actually doing something useful than just sitting at a desk telling other people what to do. That applies, by the way, to real life, as well as to video games. I've been working for many years, but I'm still a programmer. I don't intend to go into management at any point because I like actually solving problems, not telling other people to do things. Here we go. Yeah, so here's the challenges. Use 4 or fewer commands and complete in 23 or fewer steps. Good news, we did both of those things. Obviously, this was a very simple one. Some of the later challenges will be a bit harder. Starcasted says, fair, he's not even helping out the poor intern. I've been here 7 years. I don't think I'm an intern at this point. Aliana says, I used to think that, but honestly, it's pretty obvious I'll never do anything genuinely useful at work. I save my passion for personal projects. It's debatable whether what I do at work is genuinely useful. But it's also debatable whether my personal projects are genuinely useful. I think of the two. Okay, my Twitch bot was useful for me hosting this stream, but at the end of the day, me hosting this stream is not a particularly useful thing. So I probably achieved more at work. The biggest thing I've achieved on a personal side is my botanical recording project, which I have written code for, but the code is just to make it a bit easier to process the data once I've gathered it. The hard part is the actual gathering of the data, which is very much not technical at all. It's me walking around holding a clipboard with a pen and paper. There's no technology involved in that at all. Apart from there's a GPS to record where things are, I guess, is the only technology. I think I'll zigzag through this to stay in numerical order. So we have Tripler Room next. Aniana says fair, but at least I enjoy doing the personal stuff. Yeah, my current job isn't too bad. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say I enjoy it, but it's okay. I don't mind it. And I do feel like sometimes I do useful things. Who are you? Oh, we have a different boss now. This optional area is for high-performing employees only. Is that you? Well, you're late. 7 years late. We need to make some changes around here. I want to see a 100% performance increase. From this point on, your performance... Yeah, we know. We just got told that by the other boss. What? Yes, I am indeed the author of the award-winning novel, The Terrible Secret. What was the award? It was Outstanding Award for Technical Excellence. I suspect because the pages were glued together so meticulously. Yes, thank you. Back to work. Okay. For each thing in the inbox, triple it and outbox the result. Self-improvement tip. Where are we going with this? Please leave the high-level decisions to management. Okay, so we need to triple something. We can't just multiply by 3, we have to add it repeatedly. Which is somewhat akin to what a computer would actually do. So, first of all we get a number. And then we stick it in here. And then we add it to itself. And then we add that again. That should be 3 times, shouldn't it? So then out, and then go back. So I am very flattered that you enjoy my streams. But yeah, on in the scale of things, is making Sarah with Stars life better a big enough thing to be my entire life's work? Who knows? That was supposed to be a copy to, not a copy from. I keep making that mistake. Okay, yes, that does multiply by 3. I like how the runtime errors in this programming simulation are your boss shouts at you that you've done it wrong. Quite amusing. Right. This should just be a 0. Yep. Okay, we got that right. And we did use 6 or fewer commands, and we did complete. Okay, we did the challenges again. Let's go to level 9. Zero Preservation Initiative. It has come to our attention that the Zero advocacy community felt the previous assignment was not inclusive. That was the getting rid of the zeros one. This time sent only the zeros to the outbox. What happens to the other numbers and letters? Management leaves that detail up to you. Well, surely that's still not inclusive, but in the other direction. Management values all numbers equally, even those numbers who have 0 or negative value. And since the term negative can feel aggressive, we will refer to those brave numbers to the left of 0 as values of oppositely signed opportunity. Oh dear, we're getting into the corporate speak here. Okay, send only the zeros to the outbox. So, inbox a number, and then if it's a 0, then we want to outbox it. We don't have jump if not 0 yet, so we're going to have to say jump if 0, and then if it's not 0, then we go to this jump. We do that. Spaghetti code is already happening here, but that's okay. Hello Rooney! Thank you so much for the raid. Hello Rooney, hello Hurricane, hello Otto, hello Harry. Otto, thank you so much for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a Ramson's. And Hurricane, you have a yellow archangel. Ramson's is the one that's known in German as bear leek. Smells of garlic and has pretty white flowers. Yellow archangel, funnily enough, is yellow. And Rooney has a sticky mouse ear. That's such a funny name for a plant. It's all soft and furry, a bit like a mouse's ear, hence the name, and it is sticky. Welcome in everybody. If you are not already following Rooney, please do go and follow Rooney. Rooney is an amazingly cozy streamer. Rooney today was playing Alan Wake Remastered. Plays a lot of RPGs. Watched him play Red Dead Redemption recently. That was a ton of fun. Yes, do go hit that follow button under Rooney's name, and I think everybody in the raid already knows who I am. including Revo. Hello, Revo. Good to see you. Revo definitely knows who I am because he's the one who sang the boat song for Ophelia, which I borrowed to write my Ophelia music, which she played in her stream yesterday. So I definitely know Revo, and I know Hurricane, and I know Rooney. I know Otto. We are playing a programming puzzle game called Human Resource Machine. We are enjoying the silly dialogue and making some good progress. I love the little animations here. Just chucking the numbers away if they don't want them. Yoink! Well, that's definitely only zeros. Did we use 5 or fewer commands? We did. We used 25 or fewer steps. No! Ah, right. This is the first time we've failed an optimization challenge. Our solution took too many steps. Starcasted says, this level I think needs 2 solutions. Right, yes, so there is some small print down here. It says, these challenges can be difficult and in many cases not possible to optimize both with one solution. In other words, you might need to make a solution that has a small number of commands and another solution that has a small number of steps. I am just wondering. This probably doesn't work, but I want to try it anyway. If we keep inboxing numbers until we get a 0, and then copy it to here, and then just keep outboxing and then copying it. Like, this also only sends zeros to the outbox. Like, do we have to read the entire inbox? I'm just curious if this is a valid solution or not. Like, we're only sending zeros to the out. Too many things in the outbox. Your outbox was correct up until now, but management expected only 4 items, not 5. Aha! So the answer is no, that's not valid. Glad to hear the game thought of that. Rooney says, I've been curious about this game, haven't seen it played yet. I have never seen anyone else play it, actually. I heard about it. I've had this game many years. I think I tried it years ago and didn't complete it. But because we played World of Goo, it made me want to play it properly. I only heard about it because it's the same developer as World of Goo. So how popular it was on release, I don't know. Starcasted says cheat. They have anti-cheese measures, and Sarah says corner cutting cheeser, I approve. Yes, I don't know if any of you were here for my Filament playthrough, but if so, you'll know that I love cheesing puzzle games at every opportunity. Starcasted says, are you planning to perfect all the solutions? Yes, unless it gets too hard, in which case, no. We'll have to see. Anyway, none of that is actually important. What we wanted to do was try and complete it in 25 or fewer steps. So, let's see. We definitely need to have an inbox. We definitely need to do something if it's 0. And... How would we make it faster than it was? Maybe... Can we start by jumping into the loop, maybe? Have the outbox here? Does that... Inbox jump if 0? Jump back to inbox. Is that faster? Okay, still 5 commands. Yes, okay. Interesting. So jumping into a loop at the start actually is faster sometimes, which is, I would not expect that, because you'd think this jump would be superfluous, but apparently not. Okay, well, hang on, we want to exit that thing. No, I want to exit the level. I'll just solve it again. But that's interesting. Yeah, so Starcasted, I did actually manage to get both objectives with one solution. So it is possible to do both. Harry says plenty of cheese recently. Yes, I enjoy cheesing games. Cheesing games is fun because it means coming up with creative solutions that the developer didn't intend. Octuplier suite. Ooh, okay. I mean, one of two things. Either we're going to be multiplying by 8, or there's going to be octopuses involved. Yes, you can always check your own performance on each assignment's optimization challenges. The 2 green lights next to each button in the elevator will tell you how you're doing. Is there anything in life more thrilling than self-improvement? Okay, we are indeed multiplying by 8. Sarah says, Emma, I really don't think that would ever have occurred to me to not start at the beginning. Our brains are so different. I mean, as I say, I am a professional software developer. I have written loops before where you jump into the middle of the loop at the start, so that's why it occurred to me. Okay, for each thing in the inbox, multiply it by 8 and put the result in the outbox. Using a bunch of add commands is easy but wasteful. Can you do it using only 3 add commands? Management is watching. So I think what that means is you could just take the number and add it to itself 7 times to multiply it by 8. But you could also add it to itself to double it, store the result, add it to itself again to double it, store the result, add it to itself again to double it. And then that's 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. That is almost certainly both faster and fewer commands, so we'll be doing it that way. You might be wondering how you can self-improve if you're already perfect. No, I'm definitely not perfect. Yes, I like to work on improving others. You're saying that you're already perfect. Well, I find other people really appreciate that. Okay, what are we doing here? Inbox, obviously. Aliana says, honestly, it's faster just to shift left by 3 bits, but I guess you can't do that yet. I don't know if this game has shift instructions. If it does, then I didn't get as far as them last time. But yes, you're quite right. If this was an actual program... well, no, if it was an actual program, you'd multiply by 8 and let the compiler optimize it to a left shift. But if for some reason you didn't have an optimizing compiler, you'd do a left shift. But yeah, let's copy that there. Add it. So now we have twice the original number. We need to copy it back again and add it again. Now we have 4 times the original number. Now we have 8 times the original number. And the outbox. And we go back to the beginning. Being over there. This is the actual solution to the level. We multiply by 8 by doubling it 3 times. But I did want to see what happens if you get an overflow. Let's see if I can make this happen without the power going out. So, okay, 24, 48, yeah, 96, 192. Yeah, okay. 384. 768. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, you do get an overflow error. I was wondering. Overflow. Each data unit is restricted to values between -999 and 999. That should be enough for anybody. Brute Force says, I'm in the yellow warning, but yeah, it's really bad outside, even more so in the red areas. I'm just hoping work stays quiet, but inside is good, warm and cozy. Yeah, I've just been inside all day. I'm going to have to venture out of the house tomorrow to get some food. But it should be... by tomorrow afternoon, it should have calmed down. Aliana says, I know the TV announcer said Parson. Yeah, that's true, actually. Like, literally about 10 minutes ago in this game, the TV said parts of the city are experiencing power failure. It's their fault. If the game hadn't said that, it wouldn't have happened. Harry says, it was calm all morning for me. We had some strong gusts as the day went on. Yeah, here it was worst at about 7 in the morning, I think. It was definitely worse in the morning than it is now, which is weird because the power didn't go out this morning. So why is it going out now when the wind isn't as bad? I don't know. Anyway, let's solve this level properly without doing any silly... silly overflows. Surely this is optimal. 9 or fewer commands and 36 or fewer steps. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's move on to floor 11, sub-hallway. Subtraction. Subtraction? I never learned that in school. Did you? We're a good team. Okay, for each 2 things in the inbox, first subtract the first from the second and put the result in the outbox. And then subtract the second from the first and put the result in the outbox. And repeat. You got a new command, subtracts the contents of the tile on the floor from the table you're currently holding. So yeah, we have sub now. If I have 6 apples, and you take 2 apples away, what do we have? Yes, a workplace theft incident. What does this do? Oh, drag command there to them. So, obviously we want to get the thing from the inbox. We need 2 things. And we want to subtract the first from the second, and it subtracts from what you're holding. Okay, so we want to put that in there, get another thing, and then this will subtract the thing on the floor from the thing we're holding, which is what we want. That box. And then, and then subtract the second from the first. Okay, so this won't work because this will... It will take the 4, and then it will take the 8, and then it will do 8 minus 4. But we've lost the 8. We didn't keep a copy of the 8. So we actually need to put the 8 on the floor as well in a different slot. I guess there. Then do the subtraction, then outbox it. Then pick up the... Yeah, then pick up the first one again and subtract the second one. The first time we're subtracting 1 from 0, and the second time we're subtracting 0 from 1. And then outbox that, and then go back. Okay, I think that'll work. So yeah, 9 minus 3 will be 6, but we have to save the 9 so that we can go back and do minus 6 afterwards. Although, yeah, thinking about it, the second result is always just going to be minus the first result. So if you were actually programming this, you'd probably just do the subtraction and then invert the sign. But I don't really have an invert the sign command, so instruction yet. So this looks like it's working though. Yeah. Minus 1 minus 5 is minus 6. 5 minus 1. 5 minus minus 1 is 6. 10 or fewer we had. We had exactly 10. And 40 fewer steps. Okay. Starcasted says, I'm hard stuck year 20, hoping for your professional guidance. Okay, well, we should get to year 20 on this stream. I usually go for about 4 hours, and we've been going just under 2 hours. What a wonderful feeling. When all your work over the last few years all comes together and culminates in a well-executed assignment. Oh, multiply by 40. Tetracontiply. Tell me more. Yes, even when the product of our labour is dumped into a waste bin in the next room, the important thing is that we take pride in a well-executed process. Okay, so how would we multiply by 40? I guess we could multiply by 5 and then double it 3 times. And to multiply by 5, we could double it twice and then add. This is obviously going back to the thing about left shifting rather than multiplying. But this is kind of how computers do these multiplications. So you'd left shift 2, add 1, and then left shift 3, and that would be multiplied by 40. But obviously we don't have a left shift. We don't even have a multiply. So in order to do 5, we need to save the original number as well as doubling it. So we put the number in 0. No, I could always do copy from instead of copy to. Put the number in 0 and put the number in 1. Then add it to 0, which will double it. Copy back to 0. Add to 0 again. So now it's times 4. Now we add the 1 to make it times 5. Then we stick that into... Might as well stick it in 1. Add 1 again. Now it's times 10. Oops. Copy to 1. Now it's times 20. And now it's times 40. Box. Seems like a lot of instructions, but I'm not sure I can think of a better way of doing it. Let's just see if that does. So we're looking for this to come out to 280. 7 times 40. We got times by 4 and then add it again. That's times 5 and then 10 and then 20. 40. Okay, yeah, it does work. Question is it good enough? Frantically adding the numbers together. Also, yeah, quite a lot of wasted computation at the end there to discover that 40 times 0 is 0. Ah, okay, we did not complete the size challenge or the speed challenge. Right, okay. Our solution was not good enough. How would we improve that then? We need fewer commands and faster. Actually, I suppose, unlike real life, I think the program is assuming that each command takes the same amount of time. So, and there's just one loop. So fewer commands is going to be faster. How else could we... I suppose instead of breaking it down as 5 times 8, we could break it down as 32 plus 8. So we could double it 3 times and also double it 5 times. That might be faster because we can left shift 3. We can multiply by 8, store that, multiply double twice more to get times 32 and add the times 8 if we store it as an intermediate one. Yeah, that might work out. I'll just start again. If I end up with fewer than 15 steps, then it's better, I think. So inbox, start off by just times it by 8. Just this. And then save that. Oh, Starcaster said you can click on the second tab for a fresh canvas. I did not see those tabs up there. They're not labelled with anything. Thank you for confirming. I think I can remember how to remake my original solution if I need it. But thanks for letting me know. I will probably be using that in future. Right, so we've now got 2 copies of it times 8. We can double it again to get times 16. Double it again to get times 32. And then add the 8 that we had left, the times 8 that we had from before. And then outbox. That's 40. Did I have 15 before? So this is faster. Does it work though? Again, we're looking for 280. 28, 6, 112, 224. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's not right. Management expected 280, but you outboxed 252. Yeah, that is supposed to have times 8, and it only had times 4. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I need a copy to 0 here. Oh, but this is, yeah, no, this is 15 steps again. I don't think this is even faster. Oh, hang on, it's giving me a 1. So we need a 40 out of this. Okay, yeah, it works. It gives me 40. I don't think this is faster, though. No, in fact, that's the same as my previous solution. Interesting. Wait, can I do this? I might be able to just take that out, actually. Hang on. Okay, we've got a 1 again, so we need it to go to 40. 4, 8. Yeah, I don't need to store it in there beforehand. I can just move over and store it there. Okay, that's how you save a command. That was tricky. That was a lot trickier than the previous levels, which were quite straightforward. There we go. We met the challenges. There is one other thing I just want to try, though. Does it always... Yeah. So it always gives me 4 numbers. It does give me a different 4 numbers sometimes. Sometimes it started with 7 instead of 1. I've noticed the last number is always 0. So it always wastes time multiplying 0. They haven't given me the jump if not 0. If they'd given me the jump if not 0, we could optimize it even further because we could just not do anything when it's 0. But they haven't given me that command, maybe intentionally. Oh well, let's not worry about it. What we've done works. Foreshadowing, says Starker. So we unlocked the jump if not 0 command earlier. But they didn't give it us for this level. But that's okay. So we've actually beaten the whole yellow branch now. Oh, we didn't beat... Oh, hang on. they've retroactively done a performance review on our first 4 years without telling us. Yeah, that sounds like there's something that a corporation would do. So we didn't meet our performance goal in the busy mail room, which is really weird because it's just this. Okay, so there's a speed challenge. Your best, yeah, so size challenge, you can't really do it in less than 3 commands. We need to do it in 25 steps instead of 30. Wait, what? How do you do this any faster? What? Oh, do you unroll the loop? I guess you unroll the loop. That's cool. So as a sort of side quest, you can learn about loop unrolling. How many are there? I can only see 7, but there might be more. But this is obviously going to be far too many commands to meet the challenge. But the number of... Oh, I'm 1 short. 2 short. Because it's not spending a cycle doing a jump, this should be faster in terms of cycles. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. Aha! Your solution works with those specific inputs, but it fails on other possible inputs. Here, I'll give you some inputs that cause your solution to fail, so you can see for yourself. Oh, that's really cool. So the game gives you, like, test cases. So, is it just that there can be... okay. It can be longer than 8, that's why. That's really cool. That it gives you test cases, and then if it fails, it shows you a failing case. Okay, that's still not enough. So that's, well, it's spelling a word each time, isn't it? I think this time it's going to say boot sequence, maybe. BOOTSEQUENCE. Okay, that's 12 letters. So this will handle up to 12 letter words. Okay, right, okay. So the longest word is 12 letters. So we've massively failed the size challenge, but we have... Oh, we've actually beaten the speed challenge. They wanted 25 steps. We've done it in 20. Take that. Speed running programming here. Starcasted says that's how their code looks like. You're not a fan of loops then, Starcasted. Okay, I'm glad. I don't think there's an achievement for that, but I'm glad we managed to beat one of the optimization goals. So now we've just got one path again. Or 13, equalization room. Sometimes some numbers are bigger than other numbers, and sometimes they are the same. How can we know? I read about that here in this great book. Which number are you for the aspirational 0? You can borrow it later. We appear to have a small team of scientists watching us. Yes, Harry's emotes are very accurately conveying what this group of people are doing. You're doing just fine. I don't have a favourite employee. I enjoy supervising them all equally. I don't believe that for a moment. Get 2 things from the inbox. If they're equal, put one of them in the outbox. Discard non-equal pairs. Okay. You got comments. You can use them if you like to mark sections of your program. Nah, who needs comments? I guess. Oh, this is a comment. Okay. So this is comment. Oh, you literally can't You can't just type the comment, you have to draw it. Okay, this is not how programming works. You don't make handwritten comments. Okay, we now have handwritten comments in our program. Starcaster says draw flowers. I'm disappointed they don't give you different colours. Let's do our best to draw some flowers. Hello there, welcome in. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you for redeeming Bulbous Buttercup as your flower of the day. Leia, we're playing a Human Resource Machine today, which is a programming puzzle game. Where apparently you have to draw your comments, so I've just drawn some pretty flowers. Right, let's try and actually do what the game wants us to do. So, we don't have a jump if equal or anything like that. So in order to tell if our numbers are equal, I think we're going to have to subtract one from the other. So if we grab the first number, grab the first number, put it in here, grab the second number, subtract one from the other, and if we get 0, then we can't just outbox, because we would be outboxing the 0 that we just made. So if we get 0, copy the number that's on the floor and outbox that, and then jump back to the beginning. Otherwise, yeah, if it's not 0, then they weren't equal. We just jump back. Okay, that feels like one too many jumps, but it certainly seems to work. I think. Leia says, hey, busy start to the weekend, tired but here. And this is an interesting looking game. Yeah, I don't know how much this game would appeal to people who aren't interested in programming like me, but I guess as a viewer, if you just like watching me solve puzzles, then... Okay, yes, we have successfully said that 6 equals 6. This tangle of code on the right is checking if two numbers are equal to each other. -4 is equal to -4. Fortunately, they're smart enough to know that -4 minus -4 equals 0, which is something I struggled on when I first learnt about subtraction, I'm sure. Oh. Well, our program is not good enough. It's one step too slow. We've got the right number of commands though, so how do we make this faster? Matcha says, Gertrude has received Human Resource Machine. They now have 496 flowers in their collection. Yeah, I should keep track of how many different flowers I've recorded over the years. In fact, I probably have that information somewhere. In my botany system. 614. So Matcha was actually slightly underestimating with the 496. 614 different species of flower I have recorded in my botanical exploits. Which is by no means all of them. There's over 1,000 in Somerset. Leia says, always down to check things out even if my brain isn't wired that way. HR flower. Leia says they changed the title of our HR department from Employee Services to People and Culture, which makes it a little more personal but a strange name for a department. Yeah, rule number one of working in an office: HR is there to protect the company, not to protect you. I'm fortunate that where I work is it's not a small business, but it's not a large business either. It has about 300 employees, which means it tends to stay. It does suffer from all the corporate BS that everywhere suffers from, but it stays away from some of the stupider things that the very large companies go for. So our HR department is still called HR. Right, how on earth do I speed this up? Is this going to be the jump into the code at the start trick again? So we'd be putting this at the beginning and jumping back there F0. And then jumping in at the start. So it's the same number of commands, I've just rearranged them. Is this faster? It is. Okay, I don't understand why jumping into the loop is faster, but it seems to work, so I'm going to keep doing it. Okay, that's that optimization challenge done. Leia says, me working for a very large company / corporation can maintain. Yes. By the way, if you can hear a squeaking noise on the stream, that is the sound of the wind. There are no small animals trapped in the walls or anything. It is just the wind. It might not be coming through the mic. Maximization room. If I had to guess, I'd say we're probably finding the maximum value of numbers. It says it's just mice eating the cheese. Yeah, if you think about it, building a house out of cheese would be a stupid idea. It would immediately be covered in various types of bug, which would swiftly devour it. There's been a change of plans. The accounting department has determined that treating all numbers equally is no longer profitable. Yeah, replace numbers with people. And that hits a bit too close to home, I think. A bit how, like, at the end of Pride Month, they all go back to discriminating against their LGBT employees. Management wants the big numbers only. Grab 2 things from the inbox and put only the bigger of the 2 in the outbox. If they are equal, just pick either one. You've got a new command. Jumps only if the thing you're holding is negative, otherwise continues to the next line. Okay. So we have jump if 0, and jump if negatives. I don't really care which numbers are bigger or smaller. I get paid the same no matter what. Well, good for you, but you've told me to do this. So, pick up a number. Put it on the floor. Pick up another number. And actually, we can't just immediately do a subtraction, because if the first number is bigger, we need to have kept a copy of that number. So, copy it there. Then subtract the first one from the one we're holding. And if the result is positive, then the one we're holding, the one we were holding, was the bigger one. If it's negative, the other one was the bigger one. And if they're equal, it doesn't matter which branch we take, because it says just pick either one. So jump if negative. If negative, then the bigger one was the one in slot 0. So copy from there. And if it wasn't negative, then the one in slot 1 was the bigger one. But then we need to jump over the copy from 0. So we need to do this. This is like an if-else. This is how if-else branches are implemented in assembly. you have 2 jumps and 1 jump jumps over the other jump. And then we're either holding 1 or 0 and we outbox it. And then we go back to the beginning. Am I going to have to do some jumping into the loop? Let's just see if it works first of all. So 7 and 7. 7 minus 7 is 0, so it doesn't matter which one we pick up. Minus 3 and minus 1. That is positive, so we pick up the right hand one, which is correct. In fact, that was the only one that was different. The rest of this we're just going to pick up. Yeah, okay. It works. Oh, not good at all. We need to reduce commands and increase speed. Okay. Right, how on earth do we do this in fewer commands? Because we have to save both numbers because we don't know which one's bigger. We have to have 2 inboxes and an outbox. We have to be able to pick up either number, and we have to be able to jump if negative. So the only thing that's not strictly needed is this jump, but otherwise we'd pick up from... actually no, we could, yeah, we could unconditionally copy from 0, and then if it's positive we could just overwrite with 1, yeah, because this will overwrite that. That does actually save an instruction. It's not how you conceptually think about it, because that copy from 0 is... Oh no, that doesn't actually work. I think I've got them the wrong way round. But yeah, you can copy from somewhere and then copy from somewhere else and it will work. Oh, but no, because we can't be holding... We can't be holding it when the jump is negative happens. So that actually doesn't work. Okay, what do we actually do? We must start off like this. Actually, no. Something's occurred to me, and this is definitely not how you would ever program this. Because it wouldn't be faster in real life. But the specific way this game works, I'm wondering... We do this, and if we get a negative result, the bigger one is on the floor. So we grab that one and outbox it. If the one we were holding was bigger, we just add this, we just took it away and we just add it back on, and now we're back to what we were holding. But then we still have to jump over this. Isn't that the same size? Kind of a weird way of doing things. It's like subtract the number, and then if it turned out that was a bad idea, add the number back on again. Yeah, that doesn't help. But it's another way of doing it. Maybe if we... This is not better because it's more instructions. Actually, no, it's not more instructions. We can jump straight here. This is the same number of instructions, but it might be faster. It was faster. It was 35 instead of 38. It's still not fast enough though. Okay, this is the first one I'm really struggling to think what to do on. Oh, hang on, no, I know what it is, I know what it is. When we replaced this with the subtract it and then add it again, we don't actually need this copy in memory cell 1. So we just remove that, that's all we do. We didn't need that. We needed it for the way we were doing it before. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so now we're getting 10. And we actually beat the speed challenge. We have 31 instead of 34. So maybe that wasn't the only way to get 34. Maybe there was a different way. Employee morale insertion. Looks like we're about to take another year off. Year 15.
And that, ladies, is how I saved a bundle on my long-distance telephone service. Back to work, everyone.
A massive army of machines has surrounded the city. The machines are not moving, and they are not communicating. Local authorities are investigating.
That's not good. I mean, on the one hand, it sounds nice having an entire year off. On the other hand, maybe they don't get any time off the rest of the time. Like, you get a whole year off every 10 years, but you don't get any time off the rest of the time. I don't think I'd enjoy that. Okay, we have another branching path. Starcasted says 15 years in the company, hope they give you a good bonus and a vacation. As somebody who's been working where they have been almost 15 years, no, they don't. They don't reward loyalty anymore, which is why people tend to job hop every couple of years, because it's the only way to get a pay rise. Okay, let's have a look at absolute positivity. Year 16. Aha! Positive attitudes were determined to increase productivity and are now therefore mandatory. Smile! Basically, welcome to working retail anywhere in the Western world. You are expected to smile at all times. Management is watching. Okay, we are finally inverting the sign on numbers. I did wonder if we'd have to do this. Send each thing from the inbox to the outbox. But if a number is negative, first remove its negative sign. Leia says be happy, damn it. And Matcha says companies, you worked 20 years. Good, work 20 more. Yeah, I can't remember how many levels this game has. I think it's about 40. So it is about like an entire working lifetime worth of stuff. Hello DKW Daft, welcome in. Hope you're having a good weekend. Good to see you. Aliana says you can scroll up to see on the level selection. That's true actually. I didn't want to spoil things, but I could just scroll up to the top and see. What do you have to say? I would smile, but I don't have a mouth. Listen, that's no excuse. Okay, so we pick up a number, and if it's not negative, we can just outbox it immediately. But if it is negative, we need to do stuff to it. And I think all we need to do is store it in memory, subtract it from what we're holding, which will give us 0, and then subtract it again, which will now give us the original number but positive, and then outbox that, and then jump. Now we don't need the outbox twice, do we? Because that jump can go there. What I want here is a jump if positive, but all I have is a jump if negative, so I have to do this. That's only 8 instructions though. It seems pretty good. Make sure it works. So 4, yeah, 4 just goes straight out there because it's positive. -4, -4 is 0, -4 again is 4. That's working. Yeah, okay, I think it's working. DKW says, been better, but getting there. Have to read a 47-page depressing document tomorrow for a meeting on Monday. Oh dear. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a time when I've been excited to read a 47-page document, but if the content of the document is itself depressing, then that makes it extra hard. My condolences, DKW. Especially, yeah, having to work Sunday effectively if you're preparing for a Monday meeting. Well, having said that, we're practically working on our day off here. We're doing programming. I am a professional software developer, so I'm almost working on my day off here. Right, we've used few enough commands, but our solution was too slow. So I'm going to try my standard thing of jumping into the loop, because apparently that makes things faster. And I don't really understand why. So that needs to jump there. We need to put an extra jump here. That jump can actually go straight up there. It feels like spaghetti over here, but if it's fast, who cares, right? That's the point of assembly, is to be fast at all costs. Is this better? No. Well, yes, but it's not good enough. So you don't, as it says down the bottom here, you don't need to succeed in both goals at the same time. We've already succeeded in the size challenge, so we only care about the speed challenge. We are only one cycle too slow. We inbox jump if negative. Oh, can we jump if... Hang on. Yeah, we could jump if negative to here and do the copy sub there. So yeah, jump if negative to there, jump, unconditional jump here if it was positive, and to outbox. That might be faster. Because it's fewer instructions if it's positive. Yes, we beat it again. In fact, we actually managed to... So far, we've managed to complete both challenges at the same time every time. We haven't reached a level where you have to solve them with different solutions, which is interesting. We actually beat the target again. Okay, so this is a optional level, exclusive lounge. 17. Oh no, the scientists are back. Yes, I've always felt most comfortable with nice, cold, logical decisions. Emotional decisions are for the weak. For each 2 things in the inbox, send a 0 to the outbox if they have the same sign, both positive or both negative. Send a 1 to the outbox if their signs are different. Repeat until the inbox is empty. Okay, that's interesting. So we're not outputting the numbers themselves now, we're outputting 0s and 1s. The game has conveniently given us a 0 and 1 that we can use for that purpose. This assignment is a basic Boolean logic operation. It's called XOR, exclusive OR. Armed with this new information, you may research independently if you like. I already know what exclusive OR is. In fact, the puzzle game we were playing yesterday had an exclusive OR function in. The pillars with the 0s and 1s on in Taiji, that was also an exclusive OR function, but with a twist. So we want to grab a thing, and I think all we do is we grab a thing, and then if it's negative, we grab another thing. And if it's negative again, we grab the 0, which is there. And if it's not negative, we grab 1. And if the original number was positive, then when we inbox the second number, if it's negative, then we grab a 0. Positive, we grab a 1. This is going to end up being far too many instructions, isn't it? Although it might still work from a speed perspective, because most of this won't be executed in any given cycle. Hang on, this is not right. If negative, negative. Yeah, it's 1 if their signs are different. So hang on, I've got this the wrong way around. Negative, negative, we want... no, negative, negative, we want a 0, because their signs are the same. Negative, positive, we want a 1. Positive, negative, we want a 1. That's what we needed. And then outbox, and then jump. This works, but I'm sure there's a way that uses fewer instructions. So essentially, we're not storing any information about the sign of the number. The information is in fact being stored by our position within the program. We're on a different branch depending on whether the first number was positive or negative. Okay, yeah, so that's not actually optimal. Is there a better... I might save that and start a new tab. A better way to do this. We definitely start by picking up a number. And the thing is, we can't use additional subtraction because we only care about the sign of the number. And the negative number might be bigger or smaller than the positive number. So we can't add them and see what we get. That doesn't work. We have to do something different depending on whether it's positive or negative. DKW says, I just remembered I had this game on Wii U. Interesting, I didn't know it came out on the Wii U. Did you ever play the sequel? The 7 Billion Humans game? Also, hello Friendly Frogs. Welcome in, good to see you, hope you're having a good weekend. Let me send you a frog emote, it seems appropriate. Welcome to this puzzle game we're playing called Human Resource Machine. No, but I did play Little Inferno. Yes, so Little Inferno also by the same developer, as was World of Goo, as was World of Goo 2, which only came out this year. And therefore probably is not available on the Wii U. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure what to do with this level. I might just go back. I might leave this one unoptimized for the time being and continue, especially since Starcasted wanted to see what to do on level 20, and I would like to get there this stream. I do usually take a break when I've been streaming for 2 hours. We didn't today because we had a power outage. So I'm just going to take a quick moment to take a sip of water and have a stretch. But we will continue in just a few minutes. Friendly Frog says, thank you for the frog. I love seeing everyone's frogs. Yeah, that's actually not one of my frogs. It belongs to a streamer appropriately named Frog Museum. Who I can definitely recommend if you want cute froggy emotes. That said, I do have some cute emotes of my own. It's just that they're all flower themed. There we go. Friendly Fox says, hi, hope you are having a good time zone. Yeah, I think most of my viewers are in the UK or Europe. So it is late evening for us. But I get some American viewers as well. So yes, happy time zone to everyone. Do a couple of stretches before we continue. If anybody's been watching for 2 hours, it would be a good time to take a few minutes to move around a bit. Maybe take a sip of water. Self-care is important for everyone, not just streamers. Brute Force, do you want me to drink more water, or are you redeeming the water I just drank? Oh. Oh, you're redeeming it on behalf of chat. I see. Well, that makes sense then. Well, let's have a little bit more. Get value from your channel points. Ooh, we have a Blowhigh redeem. I was actually holding Blowhigh at the start of the stream. The reason I'm not holding Blowhigh currently is we had a power outage and it is completely dark here. So I had to stumble my way into the next room to grab my phone. In order to message everybody to let them know the power was out. So I put down Blowhigh. Let's go and fetch him. Not often that Blowhigh gets to have 2 introductions on the same stream. Matcha says Gertchie Sip. There is a Gertchie Sip emote. Oh, Matcha, you're not subbed, are you? I think it's a sub-only emote, the Sip. There we go. There's a Gertchie Sip. This is Blowhigh. He is soft and cuddly and we love him. And he was very scared when it went all dark suddenly. But I think he's alright now. And he shall accompany us for the last part of this game. Starcasted asks, what is the origin story of Blowhigh? Well, the origin story is he was sitting on a shelf at IKEA, and then one day I decided to buy him. I did not come up with the name Blowhigh, that is just the brand name of it. I don't know how the whole association with the transgender community happened. I think it's just as simple as the fact that the colours are like the trans flag, plus trans people love plushies. I think that might be all there is to it. But one way or another, Starcaster says, "Oh, you kept its IKEA name." Yes, so the IKEA name of this plushie is Blowhigh, which is just Swedish for blue shark. Like that's it's just what type of animal it is. But yeah, I think people tend to just refer to it as Blowhigh. Well, people say Blahaj because they don't know how to pronounce Blowhigh, but yeah. I do also have behind me the octopus plushie from IKEA. Those are the 2 IKEA plushies I have. But I have this dude who is actually from Monsters Expedition, which is another puzzle game I've played. small announcement to make, I guess. I will be getting a Madeline plushie to celebrate my Celeste playthrough. However, they are on back order and I'm not going to be able to get it before Christmas. So, some point in several weeks' time, there will be a Madeline plushie on that shelf. Yeah, most of the games I play are too obscure to have merch. Like, there's no Human Resource Machine merch. There's no Tetrabot and Co merch. There's no Dorfromantik merch as far as I'm aware, apart from the board game, which I do have on there. But yeah, if I play a game that I enjoy and there is some physical object I can acquire that represents it, then I will try and add that to my streaming shelf. Because nice though it is with all the pretty things on it already, it would be nice for it to be directly relevant to what we've been doing. Starcasted says Pingu. You're referring to the penguin. The penguin's name is Pebbles, as decided by my viewers. And we have a couple of penguin streamers in our community, such as the amazing Izzy the Penguin, who is much better at Celeste than me. And I have the 3 swans. I have a black swan, a white swan, and a silver swan. They are nothing to do with my streams, I just have them. Okay, I'm going to skip over optimizing level 17 for now, but I will probably come back to it. We're not going to finish this game in one stream, so I will come back to it next stream with a fresh mind and see if I can figure out a better way. But I'd like to get to level 20 before the end of the stream. To see, also, we're getting another break. We must have performed well because it's only been 3 years since our last break, and we're getting another year off. Sabbatical beach paradise. Yeah, looks good. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, if I took a year off, I wouldn't want my colleagues coming on holiday with me. That would be a bit weird. Also, still a classic programmer, still drinking coffee, even on the beach. No sipping a pina colada. It's coffee all the way. Okay, level 19 is Countdown. Yes, thank you, mods, for doing that shout out. Yes, welcome back. Tick, tick, tick. Time keeps ticking down. Let's get to work. Oh, yes. I love what you've done with your hair. Oh yeah, my hair has changed. I guess after 18 years in the same job, you do change your hairstyle. For each number in the inbox, send that number to the outbox, followed by all numbers down to or up to 0. It's a countdown. You got new commands. They add 1 or subtract 1 from an item on the floor. The result is given back to you, and for your convenience, also written right back to the floor. Okay, we have bump plus and bump minus. Not usually the term you'd use in an assembly language, but yeah, it's the equivalent of plus plus or minus minus in C or other such languages. DKW asks, have you ever played Thimbleweed Park? No, I haven't, DKW. Is it a puzzle game? Because I might be interested if so. Okay, looks like it's a point-and-click adventure game. Maybe Ruby has played it then. Interesting. DKW says I sent my best friend a message saying I love them to the numbers. And they then mentioned that game, and I didn't even think they would know of them because it's not programmer. It is okay to love someone as a friend. Yeah, sure, it is. Starcasted says, still smiling and looking young. Yeah, apparently. What's the secret to eternal youth? Enjoying your work, feeling important, and proper sunscreen application. Also, you can't really see because of my face cam, but there's just a severed robot arm chilling out in the corner here. Which is a little bit worrying. There was a robot uprising a few years ago, and then I went on to the beach for a year, and I came back and there's a severed robot arm in the corner and nobody's questioning it. Okay, so we need to get a number, and then we either need to count down from the number to 0 or up from the number to 0. I guess it's going to be 2 separate branches. Oh wow. Izzy the Penguin was summoned by the shout out that Harry did. Welcome in, Izzy the Penguin. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a celery leaf buttercup. I hope you had a good stream, Izzy. Izzy was playing Strawberry Jam today, which is a mod for Celeste. I had to leave, obviously, halfway through to come and start my own stream, but it looked really good, and I honestly think I might play it on stream. It was one of the games in my Discord poll a couple of weeks ago, and nobody voted for it. But I might play it anyway, now that I've seen Izzy play it. Hope the rest of it went well. And yes, everybody go follow Izzy. She's best purple penguin. And I won't do another shout out because we already did one. Izzy says, I did dislike one of the levels though, but that's because it's more of a puzzle map, so you might enjoy that. I mean, if I do play that game, I'll try and complete all the beginner levels at the very least. The rest of it might be a little beyond me. For reference, Celeste is already a very hard platformer, and the modding community that designs its own levels has a difficulty scale that goes beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert, grandmaster, grandmaster plus 1, grandmaster plus 2, grandmaster plus 3, I think they've got up to. And the hardest levels of the base game are considered intermediate. So there are very, very hard Celeste levels out there. But they have made some easy ones as well. Izzy, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. This is Human Resource Machine, which is a programming puzzle game. I think I'm just going to have 2 separate bits of program for positive and negative numbers. So if it's a negative number, we want to outbox it immediately, but we need to save it on the floor so we can keep copy. Outbox it, and then it's negative, so we need to add 1. And then outbox it again. I guess we do need to output the 0 because it says down to 0 or up to 0. So we should jump with 0 here. Actually, no, because we won't be holding anything then because we've just outboxed it. We should jump with 0 here. Do a final outbox and then start again, I think. So bump plus 0. So he needs to jump back to here. It seems weird, but there we go. Actually, we always copy to 0 as well, whether or not it's negative. And then if it's non-negative, we do the same thing. Except we bump minus instead of bump plus because we need to count down to 0. And the jump if 0 needs to point down here to the final output. Yeah, it's going to be something like that. Izzy says, I've heard of it and never watched or played it. Friendly Frogs, thank you so much for redeeming your first ever flower of the day. Every stream, you can get a new British wildflower and slowly build up a wildflower garden. Today you have sorrel. DKW says, I put other things for yeah, this game is not for everyone. This is a game for people who enjoy programming, I think. And assembly programming and optimizing programming, which is definitely not for everyone. Right, is this going to work? So we've got 9. Oh, they literally kick the box to bump the number. That's cool. No, we went 989. That's not right. Emma, you idiot. How did that happen? Oh, I'm missing a jump. We need to jump there. Little Inferno, I think, is a well, and World of Goo are both more suitable for a general audience. There we are. Look, we're actually counting down now. So hopefully, when we get to 0, we are going to stop. Yes, and get a new number. And then, yeah, okay. If it's a negative number, we're counting up instead of down. Okay, it's working. It's almost certainly not optimal. Yeah. I'm going to skip over the optimization challenges for now, just for the sake of... let's try to complete some of these levels on stream. There's a green section. Let's see if we can get to the end of the blue section before the end of the stream, and then we can maybe revisit these levels to optimize them next stream. Multiplication workshop. Okay. So I think this is the level that Starcasted was stuck on. It seems like only yesterday we were learning about adding. Fond memories. We worked so hard back then. For each 2 things in the inbox, multiply them and outbox the result. Don't worry about negative numbers for now. You got labels! They can help you remember the purpose of each tile on the floor. Just tap any tile on the floor to edit. Okay, that's interesting. So we have a tile on the floor labelled 0. 0! Exclamation mark. Which conveniently has a 0 on it. We also have a tile named hello. Not quite sure what we're supposed to do with that. And we have a program that copies from 0 to hello. So we kind of have variable names now. Except that once again, we're not just typing our comments and our variable names. We're having to draw squiggles for them, which is this is not how real programming works. Hello, LT Bago, welcome in. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day. LT Bago says bonus flower. Yes, I had a power cut about an hour ago, so we had to restart stream, which meant everybody who got their flower gets another flower because it's technically 2 streams. Okay, so Starcasted, you said you couldn't optimize this, so were you able to solve it? You just weren't able to optimize it, or were you not able to solve it at all? Because I think I see how to solve it, but whether it's optimal or not, I have no idea. What does this guy have to say? I hope you enjoy your new label maker. I personally prefer to label just about everything. Copy to 4? What? What does that even mean? Just stick a label on it and you'll never need to use numbers again. I have also labelled my sandwich. So now you know which one not to eat. You're welcome. Thanks. Starcasted says solved it, but with almost twice the steps taken. Okay. Well, let's get rid of this stuff. And yeah, so my idea for how to solve it is we would get a number and we'd store it somewhere, which might as well be in hello. And then, in fact, no. Let me rename these variables to something useful. I'm going to call this one X. And I'm going to make another one which I'm going to call Y. And I'm going to put a number in X and a number in Y. So basically we're going to be doing X times Y. And then obviously we need the answer as well. And I think we can just put the answer, well, yeah, we put the answer here. And so actually, what first thing we want to do is set the answer to 0. We don't want to overwrite this 0 because we'll need a 0 at the start of every thing anyway. So now we've got our two numbers here and we've got the answer in 0. And what we want to do, I think, is if y is 0, so let's copy from y, and then if it's 0, we're already done. We go to the outbox and then we have to do that. If y is 0, we've finished, because anything times 0 is 0. If y is more than 0, what we do is we bump minus y, so now it's 1 less, and then we add x to the answer. So copy from x, add answer. Add stores the result back in my hands. So then I need to copy it to answer as well. Then we go back to where we copied from y. Oh, if y is 0, yeah, so every time we decrement y, and then when we write y which is 0, we're done. That doesn't mean the answer is 0. So when we copy from y jump if 0, we then have to copy from answer before we outbox it. So I think this will work, and this is kind of how computers do multiply if you're not doing the optimized bit shifting stuff. So, like, if you want to multiply 6 by 4, you just add 6 to itself 4 times, for example. Oh, I'm missing chat. DKW says Aubrey should be good. I hope we get a badge. LT says silly wind making more work for Emma, just shortening the time before she needs to add more flowers. Indeed, yes. Matcha says x times y sounds like algebra again. I mean, yes, it is sort of algebra. It's programming rather than algebra, but both of them use names for numbers. DKW says, can I shout out my new favourite music comedian streamer? You can put their name in chat if you would like to, yes. Welcome back, Alice, who says, have you considered dividing by 0? I can't divide by 0. All I can do is add and subtract. Maybe we will be asked to do division at some point. But so far, we're just doing multiplication. Darkcasted says it's about to look real messy and crazy. I think that what I've written here works, so it's only 15 steps. I don't know how many steps. What's the optimization? 15 or fewer commands. Yeah, no, this will be optimal if it works, which is a big if, I realise. Let's see. So we're multiplying. Wait, no, I've done it wrong. Okay, it's not optimal. I forgot the second inbox, so we were just multiplying x by itself. Okay, it's not optimal then, but we're only one command over optimal, so... Okay, yeah, multiply 8 by 5, that's what we wanted to do. So we start off with 0, we remind us of that 1, so we've got 1 8, and now we reduce that again, we get another 8. And then another 8. And then another 8. And we should end up with an answer of 40, which was 5 times 8. So now that y is 0, we go, oh, time to get the answer. Yep, okay, it is working. Let's make sure it works for everything. I noticed there were some zeros here. So hopefully we know that multiplying 1 by 0 gives 0. Yes, we do. Okay, 0 times 6 we're not handling quite as intelligently. We are adding 0 to itself 6 times, but we still get there. And then 9 times 4. So I think we're going to be one off the size challenge. Because we got used 16. That's speed challenge. 109. Ooh, 182. Okay, yeah, I get what you mean, Starcasted. Almost twice the steps taken. Definitely. I don't know how close to 182 you were, Starcasted, but that does seem to be what you end up with if you do it the obvious way. 17 in the 190 is what Starcasted has. Okay, so very close to mine. Okay, let me start by seeing if I can get it down to 15. Because that would only be one fewer instruction. We have to inbox twice. Copy from 0 to answer. I wish we didn't have to copy from 0 to answer, but we do, because otherwise... Actually, no. Hang on, let's think about this. We might not need the 0 at all. If we copy the x straight to answer... then we've already... Effectively, we've already done the first round of multiplication. The only problem with that is if y is 0, then we shouldn't have done the first round. It's annoying because that gets it down to 15. This gets it down to 15, but it only works if both numbers are greater than 0. Actually, no, it only works if y is greater than 0. It works if x is 0. So we could stick in a if y equals 0 jump. But that would be an extra instruction, so that wouldn't save any time. No, don't... Tibago, you're the second person to suggest that. Dividing by 0 is definitely not the answer. We don't have a divide instruction. At some point this game is going to ask us to implement division ourselves. Okay. Okay, let's not do that optimization for now. Copy from 0 to answer again. Is there some other optimization we can do? Actually, there might be. Yeah, actually, we don't need to copy... Yeah, we don't need to copy from y, I think. Yeah, in this loop, we don't need to copy from y, because bump minus y gives us y in our hand. However, if y is 0, then this, then y becomes -1 here, and then the program never finishes because y is just going to get bigger and bigger negative. Hang on, if I... Do these things cancel each other out? So if I copy x to answer here, and then copy to y, jump if 0, copy from answer. No. Copy to y, jump if 0, outbox. That takes care of the y equals O case. And we still have 2 instructions left. Bump minus y first. Jump if 0. Copy from answer output. So we decrement y without doing a step of the addition, because we already did a step of the addition when we copied x straight to answer. And if y starts out 0, we disregard answer completely and just outbox the 0 that we just copied to y. In fact, we could save 1 cycle by doing that. If we inbox a 0, don't even bother copying it to y, because anything times 0 is 0. That's 15 steps. Does that work? So we put 8 straight into the answer. We immediately bump y down to 4, because we only need to do 4 iterations of the loop now, because we've got an 8 in the answer already. Okay, that works. My only concern is the zeros. Let me see if... So 1 times 0... That's right, yeah, we fetch the 0 and we just take it straight across, because we know the answer's going to be 0. Although, yeah, we're still we're still doing the whole add 0 to itself 6 times for that one, but that's okay. And then the 9 times 4 becomes, yeah, add 9 itself 3 times. I mean, that's going to be better. Is it going to be good enough? That meets the size challenge. I mean, it's better. It's down from, what was it, 187 to 135. So, Starcasted says that's brilliant. I mean, it's still not good enough. But that's how you meet the size challenge, I guess. Anyway, the trick to meeting the size challenge was realizing that if you pick up a 0 from the input, you can just carry it straight to the output, because anything times 0 is always going to be 0. Okay, well, I can call that my fewest instruction solution. Maybe we can try and make a... Can I copy this solution to here? Yes, okay. Hello, Talon. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good weekend. Don't forget to redeem your flower of the day. Talon says, we do sneakily programming game. Yes, we are playing Human Resource Machine, a game by the same developer as World of Goo, which is why I was inspired to play it. And it is a programming puzzle game. Let me drop another link. I did this at the start of the stream, but I'll do it again. Drop a link to the game in chat. Yes, if you've ever played World of Goo or Little Inferno, this game is by the same creators. It is much more technically oriented than those games. World of Goo is just a fun physics-based puzzle game, but you didn't have to know physics. It was just, you know, flinging goo balls around. This is actually programming. I think as an introduction to assembly language for somebody who's maybe not encountered it before, this is actually quite a nice way to do that. Like somebody who has done logic puzzles before, but maybe not assembly program. I think to meet the optimization challenges, I think you do have to be a programmer, because you have to be able to think about how would I optimize this code. But just to complete the levels, I think is feasible for a wider audience. Talon, thank you so much for redeeming your flower of the day. This is Chalk Milkwort. Chalk Milkwort has an incredibly bright blue flower. Really, really intense blue. And it's found on chalk, funnily enough, so we don't really get it in North Somerset. Starcaster says, I'm a noob grammar. I'm sure that's not true. I mean, if you got this far in the game and you solved this level with a reasonably good solution, which you did, then I don't think that's true. Right, how can I make this solution faster? I can add more instructions if I want. I care about speed now. Well, the obvious thing, which is only one more instruction, is if x is 0, at the moment if x is 0, we're just adding 0 6 times to get the answer. If x is 0, we already know the answer is going to be 0. The only problem is we would only have inboxed one number. So we need to do an extra inbox. We need to inbox y. We don't care what y is, but we need to inbox it, so that we can skip over it. So this will work identically to before, just with an extra instruction, until we get to something where x is 0. Oh crap, no, that doesn't work, because answer was never initialized then. Answer is still set to whatever it was from the previous round. Yeah, this actually needs to be a whole separate part of the program, which is okay because we're not caring about number of instructions now. This is specifically outbox the 0, inbox something else, and then jump back to the start. We don't need that inbox. We need to skip over the copy from answer. So this is just an optimization if x is 0. Starcast is a U0. Yeah, that's true. We could copy from 0, but we don't need to, because we'll already be holding a 0. We're checking if what we're holding is 0, then we already know the answer is 0. We just take the 0. And then we just throw away whatever the second number would have been, because we don't care what it is, because anything times 0 is 0. So this will be faster, but I don't think it will be fast enough. So obviously, yeah, our size challenge has failed now. Oh, come on, 111! We're 2 steps off. Okay, I think I have the right idea. We're just not quite there. Okay, how do we save 2 steps on this? We have to... I can't remember, was this jumping into the instructions at the start? I can't remember if I did that to save instructions or if I did it to save time. I think it was to save time. So we need to do that. We need to inbox copy to X. Oh, we don't need to copy to X if it's 0. That can go there. That only saves 1 cycle though. We're still gonna. I think we're still gonna be 1 cycle too much. Yep, 110. Okay, 110 instead of 109. Talon says there are 2 zeros, so 2 cycles saved. No, so Talon, this is the skip if one of the zeros X is 0, one of the zeros Y is 0. The case where Y is 0, we were already doing it immediately after inbox. So we don't get to save a cycle there. Starcasted says one cheesy way is always copy paste multiple times into the jump. That's true. We could duplicate the entire program 4 times. That would also work. I don't want to if I can. I feel like they want you to solve it like this. I don't think there's any way to optimize this loop. Add answer, copy to answer. Yeah, we have to store answer in answer. We can't just store it in our hand because we have to go and decrement Y, which puts Y in our hand. The bump command always the result is written back to the floor and also back into your hands for your convenience. I don't want it written into my hands. I want to just be able to kick it and have it change on the floor, but I can't. So where do we? Let me check it. Let me try it without this original jump. In which case, this stuff needs to go at the bottom. The jump if 0 just goes to outbox down here, and then a jump inbox. The copy from answer goes here. This jump goes here, and then what are those 2 jumps now? That's that. Yeah, that's the short circuit if it's 0. That's the main loop. I think this still works. Okay, no, that's worse. That's 113. So we were doing better by jumping into the loop at the start. I don't know. I said I wasn't going to try and optimize the later levels this stream, but having got so close, it seems a shame not to. Starcasted says, what if you ran your code multiple times and hope for good RNG? I don't think it lets you. Because we discovered that on an earlier level. If you write a solution that only works some of the time, it will actually change. It will work, and then it will stop, and it will say, well, yeah, that worked, but it doesn't always work. Here's one where it doesn't work, and it will give you an awkward case. So the code has to work with the awkward cases. Talon says trying to optimize it by making it worse is the most programming thing ever. It absolutely is. Maybe actually. Starkers says take the average instead of the best. I think they do. Yes, I think they do. I wonder if we could just unroll this loop. Like just one step. Yeah, unroll this loop 1 step. That would save at least 1 cycle. So bump minus Y. Jump if 0 needs to go there. Copy from X. This feels like cheating. I'm sure there's a way to save a cycle without doing this. But yeah, that. And then jump here. So now this loop is unrolled once. Oh, it doesn't work. How did I break that? Bump minus y, copy max add answer, copy to answer. Bump minus y. Works, doesn't it? Oh, no. What have I done wrong here? Inbox Y, copy to Y. Add to an answer. Minus. Minus. Oh, no, once you bump minus Y... Oh, I didn't put my solution back properly. Once you bump minus Y, you have to copy from answer. Just go there. Yeah, I think this broke. $104! We did it! We kind of cheesed it because we just did loop unrolling instead of, you know, actually making the program more efficient. But I don't care. We got the number below the other number. I'll take it. Okay, we perhaps won't get all the blue levels done today now then because we only got half an hour left. But don't worry, I'll be back here next week. Let's see how many more we can get through. But yeah, so Starcasted, that answers your question about how to optimize that level. It can be done. Zero terminated sum. What on earth is this? Yes, we believe in educating our employees on the job here. Do you know what a zero terminated string is? Yes, I do. But that's not what you're doing here. Yes, it is a very old technique and we don't expect you to know. So you may ask me about it if you like. Or you may ask an external source. A zero terminated string is just a way of storing strings, where you store the value of each character and then at the end you store a zero. So character number 0 in a character set isn't the digit 0, it's like a null character, it's a separate character. And so you store your string and then at the end of the string you store a 0, and any function that needs to copy that string somewhere or do anything with it just keeps reading till it gets to a 0. The other way of storing strings is to store the length of the string as the number of characters in the string, and then store the rest of the string. Storing the length has the disadvantage that you need extra space to store the length, plus whatever the max value of your 8 or 16-bit or whatever length variable is the longest string you can have. Null terminated strings have the quite serious drawback that if you accidentally misplace the null terminator, your program just keeps reading the string forever and reads into some other garbage in memory and completely breaks your program. So obviously most main programming languages like C and C++ use null terminated strings. LTVago says, I have nothing to contribute on this, so let me take a moment to introduce to you the new craze sweeping the nation. From the makers of Pilk, we are proud to bring you the seasonal sensation Pegnog. Starcasted says eggnog plus Pepsi. That sounds absolutely disgusting. Talon says zero terminated string. Damn those managers, they heard null terminated string and thought, no, that can't be correct, this should be zero, not a null. I was imagining it better. Yeah, null terminated string, not zero, you're right. I was simplifying and the game was very much simplifying. Yeah, don't make a system where strings are terminated by the digit 0, because then you can't print the digit 0. Anyway, that's not what they're doing here. I think what they're doing is they want you to add the numbers and then stop adding when you get to a 0, which is fine to do because adding a 0 doesn't do anything anyway. Yeah, the inbox is filled with 0 terminated strings. What's that? Ask me, your boss. Add together all the numbers in each string. When you reach the end of a string marked by a 0, put your sum in the outbox. Reset and repeat for each string. So it's not null terminated strings at all. We're just adding numbers till we get to a 0. So grab a number. Copy it to actually, yeah, we start with a 0, which is interesting. This is a bit like the previous one, where we started with a 0 on the board. But we never wanted to overwrite that 0 because we needed to be able to reset the sum back to 0 at the end. 0. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking if we have to do that here, if we could do something funny. Like, we get a 0 in the input data at the end of each string. So, can we not, like, use that as the start of the next one and not have to worry about overwriting the 0? But let's start off by storing the sum in a variable and storing the 0 in another variable. The first thing we do is copy the 0 into the sum. Then we inbox something. If it's 0, we immediately outbox sum. And then start again. So that we need to jump into there. If it's not 0, we add it to sum and then store that in sum. Oops, no. And then jump back to inbox. Okay, I believe that is a working solution, not necessarily the best. What is a 0 terminated string? Yes, I can tell you. A string is just a list of values, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of. Usually, if you use the term string in programming, you're implying there's some sort of character set associated with that list of numbers that can map it to some characters. But yeah, technically no. If it's just a list of numbers, I would call that an array, not a string. And a string is a type of array, it's a character array. Or 4992. But how do we know when one string ends and another string begins? We can mark the end of a string with something special, like a 0. Here are 2 0 terminated strings. See how that works? And sometimes a string can be empty. Here are 3 strings. Notice the middle one is empty. And yes, sadly, this all means a string cannot contain the number 0. 0 means something special. Well, now we know. Back to work. Thank you for that explanation. El Tibago says exactly to Pegnog being eggnog plus Pepsi. I am, however, feeling some minor adverse effects from drinking a litre of Pegnog. Tibago, I'm feeling adverse effects just thinking about the concept of Pegnog, so I'm not surprised. Talon says I terminate my strings by writing Schwarzenegger at the end. That's pretty inefficient from a programming perspective, because every byte of the string that you process, you have to check 14 bytes of memory to see whether you've reached your terminator yet. You can't just check the S, because it could be something else starting with S. Starcasting says I'll have a cup of milk instead. And Tibago says you can, but you'll miss out on the flavour sensation sweeping the nation. Tibago, are you sponsored by Pepsi or something? Talon says, yes, the string value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or how you would write that in ASCII. Start of heading, start of text, end of transmission, inquiry. I mean, ASCII isn't the only character set out there. Some historical character sets did map those values to actual characters. But ASCII and Unicode, which is pretty much what you should be using nowadays. Unicode kind of starts... you don't really need the ASCII control characters in Unicode, but for compatibility reasons, Unicode starts where ASCII starts. So you don't really use those characters nowadays. Talon says every time you read a new character, your program is like, I'll be back, and checks its buffer. Did you set up that joke, Talon? That was very clever if you did. Okay, does this work? So, start with 0. Add 8. Add 6. Oh, look, it's a 0. Better go get the sum and output it. And then reset the answer back to 0. I think it works. There is the special case of an empty string. Let's just make sure it handles that.
Programmer by day, pro gamer by night.
Thank you, Starcast. Didn't go well. Chat is just full of puns today. I'm more of a programmer than I am a pro gamer. That's for sure. Although a couple of months ago I did invest in a new PC, and I do have RGB lighting now. Everyone knows that's what makes you a pro gamer, so I guess I am. And I suppose if you're being literal, and as in professional meaning that you do something for money, I have subscribers on Twitch, therefore I am earning money from gaming. Not much compared to my actual job, but technically yes, I am a pro gamer. Anyway, we used the right number of commands and we were too slow. Oh. Okay, well, okay, let's call that our yeah, let's just pretend we were going for a low number of instructions all along. That was our idea. And then how do we speed this up? Well, let me see if I can make it work without having to copy from 0. In other words, what if we just have this be the sum? And we just let's start again. We get a number. If it's 0, then we go and pick up the sum. And oops, from sum. But before we do that, we put the 0 here, and then afterwards we use the 0 that we just copied to reset the sum. Is this faster or is this slower? It's more instructions, but I'm not sure if it's faster or slower. Otherwise we add and then yeah, jump. Oh, add doesn't store. Yeah, it doesn't store. Add sum, copy to sum. Oh, and you can't copy to. Yeah, have to jump into there. So we're not preserving the 0 that we start with, but that's because we know we've got some zeros coming on the input that we can, like, so we see now we've got a 0 that we can reset the sum with. Now the question is that faster? Nope, it's slower. Emma, you idiot. By the way, thank you so much for the 20 bits as well, Starcasted. I commented on your pun, but I didn't comment on the bits. That is very generous of you. DKW says, when you do programming, have you ever done games programming? Obviously, Izzy is a games programmer by day. How did you meet them? Yes, Izzy is a games programmer. I have never professionally worked in game development. I've technically made games as personal projects, but they were very simple ones. Things like the Scrabble that I made to play on stream. Scrabble is a game, so that was game programming. But no, I've not done any of the stuff you'd have to do professionally. DKW also is asking how I met Izzy, I think. And I don't remember exactly which stream I met Izzy in, but I know she hangs around in various other streams in the community that I'm part of, like Ophelia and Colo and possibly some other CCC anomalies. So it would have been one of those. I don't remember exactly which one. Talon says explicit edge case handling time. Yes, they do. I do appreciate that they do things like put in a 0-length string to make sure you're handling your edge cases correctly. LT Bagger says I'm not sponsored by the delicious taste of Pepsi or the great sugar-free taste of Pepsi Max, but that's what I like. I don't know, T-Bagger, that sounds like what somebody who is sponsored by Pepsi would say. Okay, so that doesn't work. Let's delete that solution and go back to this one, which was better. How else do we make this not bad? Copy the 0 into the sum. Inbox jump of 0. I suppose we don't need to bother. We don't need to bother copying the 0 into the sum if it's a 0 already. But we can't inbox and then copy the 0 into sum because then we lose what we're holding in the inbox, which is a problem. DKW says, I also like Pepsi Max, but I obtain from farm foods by the crate. I'm just proving that I'm also not sponsored. Yeah, that's probably not what a Pepsi sponsored person would say. They would want you to buy it individually at retail prices to get their markup. Okay, let's skip over that one for now. We've half optimized it. Let's go and look at Fibonacci Visitor. If I had to guess, I'd say we're going to be generating the Fibonacci numbers. Oh, and yes, we're now on the advanced optional branch. This back hallway is for advanced employees only. Are you sure you want to be here? These night shift assignments are optional. Oh god, we're working nights now. I mean, personally, if night shift was optional, I certainly wouldn't work it. And they are difficult. If you need to ask for help, I'll just be here looking through these catalogues for a golden spiral. For each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the full Fibonacci sequence up to but not exceeding that value. For example, if inbox is 10, outbox should be 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. What's a Fibonacci sequence? Ask your boss or a friendly search box. Or it's just given the sequence here. So yeah, the way Fibonacci sequence works is every number is the sum of the previous two numbers. And the first two numbers are both 1. So Fibonacci sequence, each number in the sequence is the sum of the two numbers just before it. The first two numbers are 1 and 1. The third number is 1 plus 1 equals 2. The fourth number is 1 plus 2 equals 3. The fifth number is 2 plus 3 equals 5. The sixth number is 3 plus 5 equals 8. And it goes on for a while. Forever, really. Now we continue. Let's leave that as an exercise for you. Back to work. Talon asks, have you tried one of the Zachtronics games before? I have tried several of the Zachtronics games. In fact, I've played one of them on stream, which was Infinifactory. My viewers may remember that as the game that I spent hours on each level and nobody knew what was going on, sometimes myself included. I never finished it, but I did most of it. We got to the last world. We didn't do the last world, but we did every world up to the last world. I decided that the last world was just a bit too tedious to do on stream. But yeah, that's another game. It's another game a bit like this one about optimizing your solutions in terms of how long they take and how many items you use. It's like you've got this 3D block-based world in which you build factories. So think sort of Minecraft, but with factories. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I'd stream a Zachtronics game again or a game like that again, because I think my chat found it a bit boring. Because they were just watching me solve the same level for 2 hours. At least with this game, the levels are a bit shorter. But I have absolutely tried the Zachtronics games before. I played Space Chem quite a lot, and I have played Magnus Opum. Opus Magnum, not Magnus Opum. What the hell, Emma? Opus Magnum I've played, but I didn't finish that one. I found it a bit boring after a while. Yes, Opus Magnum. A friend of mine is part of the community for that design like really hard levels and then try and optimize them. So I've seen some really, really, really optimized solutions that people have come up with, and yeah, they just... Emma is not smart enough to comprehend that. Anyway, how are we going to make the Fibonacci sequence? Up to and including a number. Well, first thing we should do is save the number in a variable. Let's call it x. So inbox a number and stick it in x. That's where we need to get to. We probably want to keep the 0. For it's the worst drawn 0 ever. We probably want to keep the 0 so we can reset easily. The first answer is always going to be 1. So I think what we start with is copy from 0. Copy to, let's stick the result in here. Let's call it A for answer. Bump it to a 1, outbox that 1, outbox the second 1, and then we need to start, I think we're going to need 2 variables because we've got to add the last 2. So outbox, copy to B outbox. So now we have 2 cells containing a 1. So at each stage, we're going to want to add 2 of these cells. Check if it's too big. And then repeat. So we just copied to B. So add A. Copy to A. Sub just leaves the result in my hand, doesn't it? Yeah, and then sub X from what we're holding, and sub subtracts the tile on the floor from the tile we're holding. So the end condition is going to be when that is positive. So if it's negative, we continue. What do I do when it's exact? Up to but not exceeding. Okay, so not exceeding implies when we're allowed to outbox exactly X. So it's when it's strictly negative that we've gone too far. If we've gone too far, then we just need to immediately stop. We've already outboxed our last number, so we just go back to the start. No, if it's positive. This is why is there no jump if positive? So, but I'm going to end up with something that looks like this: jump if negative, jump if 0. Otherwise, go here to check if it's positive, which is really annoying. And I'm sure will result in me using too many instructions. But we can't just have that as the loop, because that was adding A. Now we need to add to B. And then sub X. And do this again. Oh, actually, yeah, No, we can't jump there. We've got to repeat... Yeah, this is not going to be optimal. We've got to repeat this as well, because... So, if negative, go back to here. 0, go back to there. Otherwise, unconditional jump to... Okay. I think this works. So our target is 7. We're going to make a 1 and output it. We're going to make another 1 and output it. Hang on. We need to start by outputting 2 1s. We didn't do that, did we? Oh, we output the... We bumped plus it and then we output it. So we need to copy it back from A again. So there's a 1, output the 1, other 1. Can't add with empty hands. Oh, then, yeah. Again, we outboxed B, so we need to copy from B. Which means actually this needs a copy from A. Yeah, this is. I'm sure this is going to be too many instructions, but at least we can make it work. Talon insists that his zeros are worse than my zeros, and they're a solid 0 out of 10. Okay, that is a 2. No, don't output the minus 16. Output the 2. Yeah, this is going to be far more instructions than I expected. Don't copy from B for no reason. There's too many copy from B's there, so copy from B there. Oh, we've got to go all the way to 19 now, it's decided. Okay, 1. 1. Can we get a 2? 2 is less than 19. So we continue. Yep, 2. Okay, can we get a 3? That's a 3. 3 is less than 90. Don't throw the 3 away. What are you doing? Like they don't know. It's like they're just doing as they're told without thinking about whether it's the right thing. Okay, I think we do actually need the copy from B here. It's annoying. There's an extra copy from, and I don't know how to get rid of it. 2, and then copy to B, sub X, jump with negative, copy from B outbox. Okay, yeah. Right, we made a 3. Next should be 5. Yeah, which is still less than 19. Okay. 8. 13, 21, right, yeah, 21 is more, so we skipped it, which was right. Okay, I think we've made a working solution. Let's check if it handles the case where it exactly equals X, which it will do here. That's going to be 0. We should still... Yeah, that's why we needed the jump with 0 as well as the jump with negative. And then 13 is bigger than 8, so we should stop. We did it! Also, I'm sorry, I don't know why my raid sound isn't working. Twanus, thank you so much for raiding with your party of 12 viewers. Twanus says madness is being dispensed. Please enjoy the insanity. That's certainly one way to describe my streams. Twannis, oh, you heard it. Okay, it was just me that didn't hear it. Twannis, I hope you had a good stream. Thank you so much for choosing me as your raid target. Do let us know what you were streaming and whether it was a success. Everybody, do drop a follow on this. Thank you, mods, for doing the shout out. Twannis, I know you were playing Horizon Zero Dawn recently, and I think I've seen you play Celeste before as well. But I didn't catch what you were playing today, so do let us know all about that. Oh, no, I did see it, yes. But then I got distracted by the wind. Yes, you were doing the Dark Souls all bosses today. So yeah, something I would not even consider attempting because I am very, very bad at Dark Souls games. But yes, anybody who can even beat that game, much less do a boss rush in one stream, is deserving of all my respect. So if any of the games I've mentioned are your thing, please check out Twannis. If anybody's joining me for the first time, hello, my name's Emma. I'm here every Friday, Saturday and Sunday, starting around 7 PM UK time. That's around 2 PM Eastern for any Americans. And I mostly play puzzle games. Today we have a game called Human Resource Machine, which is a programming puzzle game. Have to write programs to solve challenges, and the program I've written is a bit bloated but apparently really fast. I was not expecting this. So far this game I've had trouble beating these speed challenges, and here my first attempt I needed 156 and or fewer, and I got 95, so that was good. There's obviously a much smaller way of doing it, but I'll stick with that for now. Twannis says Celeste is on the menu for this month. I'm glad to hear it. I have also played Celeste on stream. We finished it about a month ago, and I didn't manage to complete all the levels. When I say finished, we finished our playthrough. I didn't manage 6B, 7B, 8B or Farewell, but I did all the A-sides, including Core and the first 5 B-sides. And I got all the strawberries, apart from the golden ones. I got all 175 normal red strawberries, which I'm very proud of. And just earlier today, I watched Izzy the Penguin play Strawberry Jam, which is a Celeste mod. And I like the look of it. I think it's got enough beginner levels that I'd be able to complete some of them. So I might be doing that in future. Okay, what's this level about? To reduce our carbon footprint, management is requesting the smallest numbers only. This is a public relations exercise. The results are going straight to the landfill. For each 0 terminated string in the inbox, send to the outbox only the smallest number you've seen in that string. You will never be given an empty string. Reset and repeat for each string. Okay, this is something a bit different. If you want to buy a sandwich, and there are 10 sandwiches listed on the menu, and you don't have much money because of poor financial decisions, how do you find the least expensive sandwich? Don't ask me. I bring my own lunch. Peanut butter and jelly. Okay, I think I see what to do here. I think we just keep track of the cheapest one. So it guarantees we're never going to get an empty string. So let's create a place to hold the... I suppose I should call it smallest, not cheapest. I'm thinking of sandwiches now. Smallest. We're going to store it here. And just, we know there's always going to be at least one. So that's the smallest to start with. And then, from then on, we might have a 0 one. If at any point we get a 0, we need to go pick up the smallest one and output it. And we need to start here. He's saying we should jam the outbox, says Talon. Yeah, maybe. Right, now what do we do if we get here? We've got two numbers, and we need to know which one's the smallest. So I think the answer is we do a subtraction. So we're going to subtract the thing that we think is the smallest from the one that we're holding. If we get a negative result, then that means that actually the one we're holding was the smallest. And in that case, we need to add the one we're holding. We need to store the one we're holding in smallest. Problem is we just destroyed the one we were holding when we subtracted it. So we need to add it back again. And then store it. And then loop back round to there. If it's not negative, that means that the one that was smallest was actually the smallest, in which case we just discard what we're holding and carry on. So that just goes back there as well. Okay. Let's give that a try. So right now 5 is the smallest. Oh, no, I keep making this mistake. Copy to, not copy from. Copy to smallest. 5 is the smallest. Well, no, 7 is now the smallest because it's changed the numbers. 11 is bigger than 7, so no. No. That's not right. What did I do wrong? Which way around does sub work again? Sub the one on the floor from the one you're holding. Yeah. So if the one I'm holding is bigger, we get a positive result. Oh, yeah. I've done it backwards. So we want to do this if it's negative. We want an unconditional jump. We need, yeah, this way around needs an extra instruction. I really wish we had a jump if positive. Not having a jump if positive keeps making us need extra instructions. Okay, there we go. Yeah, throw it away if it's bigger. If it's smaller, then replace it. There we go. And then if we get a 0, output the smallest. Yeah, okay. I think it's working. I love the little beep noises it makes. Okay, was that even vaguely good? Size challenge, yes. Speed challenge, yes. We even beat the speed challenge. Oh wow, okay. I thought that solution was trash, so that's good to hear. Okay. LTBago says, I hope you appreciate the level of self-control I showed in that moment by not game requesting Dark Souls. When I mentioned Talon was playing Dark Souls and I would be bad at it. So how my game request function works, you spend channel points, obviously. You can request any game you like. There are no restrictions. However, I do reserve the right to refund your request if I think it won't be a good fit for the channel. So you don't lose your points if I decide not to play it. I will give you the points back. If anyone wants me to play any game they like, all they have to do is save up enough points and then request it. How many hours of work can you fit in one day? Not enough, oh dear. There's always a sad remainder of unworked hours. Good thing we have these optional night shifts to cram in more. Oh, okay, so we're not quite doing division, but we're almost doing division. For each 2 things in the inbox, outbox the remainder that would result if you had divided the first by the second. Don't worry, you don't actually have to divide. Okay, so we're not doing division, but we're doing modulus, which is sort of like division, also known as remainder. Don't worry, you have to divide, and don't worry about negative numbers for now. Okay. Yes, I can tell you are an enterprising worker. I haven't been home in about 25 years either. That's a good point. Not only do we not get any time off, apart from occasional entire years off, we don't even get to go home. Right, how are we going to do remainder? And also, why is the floor now vertical instead of horizontal? Twiner says, definitely unrelated question. What's your opinion on detective games? Well, I would say they're a better fit for my channel than Dark Souls, at the very least. I haven't streamed one before, but if you have a particular one in mind, you're welcome to request it. Matcha says if they don't go home, they must stink. Yeah, there's a few problems with that premise. Oh wow, we actually have a game request.
Shadows of Doubt.
From Twinus. Shadows of Doubt. I will look that game up, Twinus, and if I decide it's okay to play, I will play it. And if not, I will refund you the points. But I suspect it will be good, so I will play it. Just to let you know, we do have one game request in the queue already. We had a request... last stream from Al Huno to play Mini Metro, and I might end up turning that into a double game because I might end up doing Mini Metro and Mini Motorways at the same time, kind of like how I did both World of Goo games at the same time. I'm going to do this and 7 Billion Humans at the same time. So might be a month or so before I play it. But thank you very much, Thomas, for the request. And I will definitely keep that in mind. Okay, how are we going to do remainder? We start by inboxing something, obviously. I think we just need to do repeated subtraction. So like multiplication is repeated addition, division is repeated subtraction. So if we just put this in a variable that I'm going to call x, I'm going to remember to do copy to, not copy from. So stick that in there, and it's divide the first by the second. So get another variable, call that y, stick that in there. And then subtract. Are we subtracting? We want to subtract y from x, don't we? So actually we need to copy from x sub y. And as soon as that goes negative, we've gone too far. And we need to output x. If it isn't negative, then we store that back in x and go round the loop again. Only to there. That work? We're dividing 6 by 2 and taking the remainder, which is actually going to be 0. Oh, I probably haven't handled 0. Yeah, so I'm going to repeatedly subtract 2 until we get to, but we're not going to. It's not going to be negative. Oh no, that will work because yeah, when we go negative, we output 0. Yeah, and 0 is the remainder, so that's fine. Okay, this time we'll actually have a remainder because we're dividing 9 by 2. 7, and then 5, and then 3, and then 1, and then minus 1, and then it'll output 1. That's what we want. Yeah, I think it's working. Good. We never got 0. I noticed we never got 0 as the second parameter. Otherwise, remember earlier when everyone's saying don't divide by 0? If we got 0 as the second number, that would have effectively been a division by 0. And it would have gone round in an infinite loop. Because we'd have been subtracting 0 from the answer repeatedly and waiting till it went negative, and it never did. Fortunately, the game was kind to us and didn't give us a division by 0. We beat the speed challenge again. No idea how. But that's going to be 25. Okay, we're at 4 hours. I might just do 2 more. Because, yeah, there's there's a whole green world to do next stream, and it doesn't matter if we get to the end of the game next stream, because we have 7 million humans as a follow-up. So I'll do 1 more, just to make up for the fact we had a power cut in the middle. I'll do 1 more level, and then we'll end. I can go a bit later on Saturdays. LT Bago says it's first person, but with the nature of the game, it's most likely fine. Yeah, I try to avoid first person shooters, because I think some of my viewers get motion sickness from them. I guess other first person games are probably okay. The Witness was okay, I think. Antichamber wasn't great because of how bright it was. Yeah, I try and avoid them, but I will consider them, so it's fine. What is the purpose of this assignment? I think it's something about calculating the volume beneath staircases. We have to put the interns somewhere. Okay. For each thing in the inbox, outbox the sum of itself plus all numbers down to 0. Okay, this is like triangular numbers then. For example, if inbox is 3, outbox should be 6, because 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals 6. Okay. We have a vast stairwell here. Oh, did you take the elevator? Well, nice of you to show up. I did take the elevator. Okay, how are we going to do 3 plus 2 plus 1? Well, we have to start by having a 3. I don't know if we actually need 0 at any point, but let's reserve this for 0. And let's put the 3 in here. Let's call it n for number. That in n. And then let's have another variable for the sum. Yeah, as before, I think we need a 0 to reinitialize it to 0 every time. So first thing we want to do is copy from 0 to sum. Then we want to add. Actually, no, because this is the same. This is the same thing I did with. I don't know if Starcaster's still here. This is the same thing we did with the one you were stuck on. The summing one, the multiplying one rather. If you know the answer is going to start with n, if you're doing n plus n minus 1 plus n minus 2, you can just immediately start with n. So we can just put the sum in here. We don't need the 0. We could just start by copying n into sum, because the sum is always going to be n plus something else. Hello Lana, hello Best Panda. Lana says, is that a panda? Referring to my boss here, who, now you come to mention it, Lana, he does look rather like a panda. I think that's just a bald patch and he's wearing glasses, but remarkably like a panda, I have to say. This, Lana, is Human Resource Machine, a programming puzzle game. I'm doing better than I expected, actually. I managed to optimize some levels that I wasn't sure about. It's surprising how tricky the optimization side of it gets, even on the earlier levels. So welcome in, Best Panda. This is perhaps not your sort of game, Lana, unless you fancy learning how to program in assembly language. So don't worry, I won't request it as a game in your channel. But what I will do is shout out the Best Panda, what there ever was. Lana has done so many awesome games, especially RPGs. Most recently she did Red Dead Redemption 2, which I really, really liked. I don't often watch an entire RPG from start to finish on someone else's stream, but I did for this one. Right now, she's doing Half-Life Black Mesa. And once that's done, she'll be doing The Witcher. We were supposed to only be having one of those two games, but due to some shenanigans in the Discord poll, which I may have been partially responsible for, we ended up with a tie, and she agreed to do both games, which is very generous of her. Best panda. Anna says I can only just see panda. It does look. It looks like a panda shuffling papers. I agree. But welcome in, Lana. Hope you're having a good weekend. Don't forget, Lana, to redeem your flower of the day. I will probably be ending quite soon, but this will be the last level I play, so we'll see how long that takes. Thank you, Lana, for redeeming Smooth Hawksbeard as your flower of the day. Okay. Obviously we're going to need to keep decrementing the number until we get to 0. So we want to bump minus in here. We also need to check for 0 at some point. I noticed there is a 0 in the input, so we need to handle the case where it's asking us for a 0 right away. Which is going to be that. And then we just outbox. I think we need to copy from some outbox. That. We need to jump here to start. But then decrement n. Add it to sum. And then store that in sum. And then jump back to the 0 check. And then I think that actually does it. Let's see. We start with 3. And we add 2. And we add 1. And we add... Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. It works. We are kind of... Oh, it doesn't work. But yeah, we're adding... We don't need to add 0. We are unnecessarily adding 0 to the result. But we do... The jump if 0 needs to be here, not here, because... What if we start with 0? Actually, no, we could replace it with a jump if negative. Here. Because then if we started with 0, we would get -1 here. Yeah, this is not going to be speed efficient, but it might be time efficient, instruction efficient, because we will only be doing one jump here. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10, 7 is 28, 0 is 0. Yeah, okay, that works. Twanus, you almost forgot your flower. I'm so glad you remembered. Okay, we did use... In fact, we used only 11 commands. I think this is the first time we've actually beaten the size challenge. Every other time we've only tied it, but we actually used fewer commands than needed. And yeah, the speed was no good. But I thought the speed was no good. Let's work on... Speed. Are we? Lana says, and yes, my weekend was nice. I was hanging out with Cora today. I'm so glad to hear that, Lana. Lana, I know you're in the UK, aren't you? Was the wind bad this morning? I was in the area that had the red warning, so I got the emergency alert on my phone and everything, and it has been very windy. Unfortunately, my stream... I had a power cut about 2 hours ago. So, yeah. My stream was interrupted. It was only off for a couple of minutes, so I was able to come back. But yeah, stream was disrupted by power outage today on account of there is a storm going on. Talon says, I think, oh, on the Fibonacci I also beat the space requirement. Okay, that's good. Hello, Michael. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good weekend. We are almost done, but you've just caught the last part of this level. This is a programming puzzle game that I'm playing, and I'm trying to... I need to optimize this for speed now, and I think the main way to do that is just to actually jump if 0 both times. Actually, yeah, if I if I inbox a 0, the answer is going to be 0, so I can literally jump there, and then I need to jump again at the bump minus. So that's one extra instruction, but it should be faster. It's not faster. Oh, no, I can't bump minus jump if 0. I've got a copy from some afterwards. There we go. We still need to keep the sum. Yeah, so the 0, it literally picks up the 0, takes it straight to the output, doesn't even bother doing any calculations on it, because we know the answer's going to be 0. Is that going to be enough for the speed challenge? Yes, it is. In fact, it's actually still enough for the size challenge as well, even though we used one more command. So we managed to beat both challenges simultaneously, which is good. Lana says, it was very windy, but I don't think even close how it is at other parts of the country. Yeah, even though I'm just barely within the red area here, it wasn't actually that bad. I think the west coast of Wales had it the worst. They had like 90-mile-an-hour winds there. I think here it only got up to about 70. But yeah, enough to disrupt my power and to wake me up at 6 o'clock this morning with the howling. El Tobago says it was fairly windy here, but not enough to stop me walking the 45 minutes home from being social. Yes, I suppose you are back now, aren't you, Tobago? Hope the being social went well. And glad you didn't get swept away by the wind. Michael says my weekend was fun so far. How is yours? Mine was pretty boring because I was just stuck at home today because of the weather. But we've had 2 good streams now. This stream, as I say, suboptimal due to power cut, but we got to 25, so like we're over halfway through the game, which is good. And if we finish next stream, we might not finish next stream because obviously these levels are going to be hard. But if we do, we have 7 billion humans lined up as our next game. And yesterday was successful as well. We made some good progress in Teiji. We solved another 3 areas. So I'm glad to hear you're having a good weekend too. I think I'm going to leave it there. We have gone over our time. I know it only says 2 hours 37 minutes in the stream timer, but you have to add the hour and a half before I had the power cut. So, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you in particular to Twanus for the raid, Starcasted for the 20 bits, and Rooney for the raid as well earlier on. Lana says thank you for the stream. Yeah, sorry that you didn't catch too much of it today, Lana. If you're interested in the programming aspect of it, feel free to watch the VOD back, of course. Everything will be there. I'm going to look for a raid target now. If anyone has suggestions for raids, please let me know. I am always happy to consider new people. I suppose I should check if anyone else is streaming this game. Okay, somebody is streaming this game, but they've got this as the category and that's not the game they're playing, which is interesting. I don't think anyone else is actually streaming it. Who else is on? Jade is on. I've gone late again, haven't I? So not many people are on that I know. Oh, Craig Bear is on, friend of Sarah with Stars. Michael is suggesting Legend of Zenith. That is not somebody that I follow. They are live and they are playing Hades. with crowd control. Okay, that's interesting. We can go there, Michael, if you would like. Thank you for the suggestion. Let me just. I'm a nerd, so I write down everyone I raid in a spreadsheet so I can keep track of where I've been. Legend of Zenith. I don't know how long he'll be there. He's been live for some time. Oh yeah, let me just check he's not ending then. He's not actually playing the game. Oh no, he's playing game. Sorry, he'd just gone full screen for a moment. Yeah, I think he's playing the game. Okay, well, we will go there. Thank you for the suggestion. So, I will set up that raid now. Please help out by spamming a message in chat when we raid in. If you are subscribed, here is the message for you to use. And if you're not subscribed, use any emotes you like. But I will give you an example message with some dancing dinosaurs for you to copy. So there we go. Pick either of those or substitute your own emotes if you prefer. I will be back tomorrow with the next part of Factorio. Tomorrow's stream might start a bit late and be cut a bit short due to family commitments. However, we will see what progress we can make. I will try to get to Yellow Science, but I also want to set up robots. So we'll be doing that. Next Friday at 7 PM will be the next part of Taiji. We'll see if we can finish off the last 3 areas. And back here, same time, same place next week, 7:30 every Saturday. Will be more Human Resource Machine. Until then, thank you all very much for watching, and bye for now.